Hey, Sardo, remember the last time we watched something I wanted us to watch all the way through and how it made us really sad?
I do remember.
Well, we did it again! Hi, everyone!
You
This
sure
is the
did.
second day of recording and watching things for the Skeleton Crew podcast because we had to double up.
It's true. We've had some stuff. I've had some stuff going on because I'm going on my first business trip ever
Being a
this upcoming
business
week.
boy! Of
I'm
big
being a business
business!
boy.
Look at
A big
you!
business boy.
The biggest of business.
So yeah, we're doubling up, and we concluded something very important.
Yeah, it is the last Cyberpunk episode. The question on everyone's mind with your hosts, Stross and Sardo of the Skeleton Crew podcast, which you are listening to right now, is did we cry more at Heike Story? The answer is yes.
Definitely more at Heike Story.
The Heike Story, like, really twist that knife. Not that Cyberpunk Edgerunners does not twist the knife, it's just, there's twisting a knife, and then the one that's just like, now the knife is a drill. And goes,
We'll get to that in our overall observation of this.
So
But yeah,
we
we wrapped up
God damn it, us.
we wrapped up Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
We need to stop sharing your brain cells. We've just learned. We got one
What?
brain cell, and we share it like this. Boom, boom, boom. It's like Pong, but faster. But yes, we covered episodes 8 through 10.
Mhm.
The end of the series.
It's the end of the road for this particular thing.
Yeah, and there's not going to be any more as far as we know. I don't know, maybe. There might be more.
Overall, I think
Yes, your
I don't
thoughts,
know.
sort of.
I tend to revert to this a lot because I'll admit guilty pleasure, especially for like work shit. When I'm on the computer and I got nothing to do, I go on TV tropes. I think this is what the TV tropes folks would call a downer ending, bittersweet ending.
Definitely downer. Definitely downer.
Downer, bittersweet, emphasis on bitter. And yeah, you can laugh at me. I am a TV tropes person. I find it very entertaining.
Well, you use it to entertain yourself at work. I feel like that's the only true good usage of it. There's bad usages of it. You could be editing it.
Oh, shit, no. I'm a loser. I'm not that big of a loser.
Starring words
But-
that we can't fight.
Oh, this was, I saw this coming. I really did. I think this is why I'm not as shook up as I was about Heike Story.
Yeah, I think the difference is when it comes to a downer ending is that the writing was on the wall from really since Maine died.
Oh, yeah.
Because the ethos of CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk stories is wrong city, wrong people.
And I feel generally, as far as cyberpunk as a genre goes, it's not meant for happy endings.
No, that is also extremely true.
It's dystopian.
Yeah. Like, I
And-
think the closest you get to a happy ending in a cyberpunk story is stuff from, like, Ghost in the Shell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about as good as you're gonna get it. And those usually still have, like, caveats to their endings.
Yeah.
So you're walking in, much like myself, into this with basically being, yeah, this isn't gonna end well. And by the time episode 8 hits, it's like, oh, it's really going bad.
I kind of saw how this would end
Yeah.
a couple episodes back, and I'm okay with that.
Me too. It's like, it sucks in the sense that we have to say goodbye, and none of our characters really had a good run of things in the end. But let's go over what happened real quick. Episode 8, Stay, I believe it's its name. Let me just pull
Yes.
it up. It's really, that one was about that was the last of the transitional episodes from sort of the first half of the series, which is about David becoming an Edgerunner. He's now full-fledged. He's a big-time guy now.
He is, and he's really made his place in the world. He's going places, and those places aren't good.
Yeah. It starts off with him killing a witness to a job that he's on. That he's not supposed to have witnesses.
No, you're not supposed to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And basically, this is set up for what is I would argue the last 2 episodes are more of a 2-parter, despite not being labeled as such.
Yeah.
Which is, the last 2 episodes are really the job that's happening, which is... So, we learn, basically, that what Arasaka wanted out of old David Martinez was that he is extremely resilient to cyberware, as it doesn't fuck with his head as much as other people's. So they want to put him in a special contraption called the cyber skeleton.
And I giggled very much. It's like, cyber skeleton, hey.
Yeah, hey, that's right. It matches what we're doing. I have a feeling it's got... Oh, I mean, we're cyber skeletons. See what we did there?
We are.
Hey, we're skeletons in cyberspace. We're cyber skeletons, Ardo. Look at us. We're an expensive project by a giant multi-gajillion dollar megacorp.
I don't like that.
Me neither. It's bad. It's real bad. But as we learn, that the whole plan is they want David in the thing to test the thing so they can make more monies. Because
yes,
they're a corporation. That's their one end goal, is to make the monies.
And people wonder why my skin crawls every time any sort of upper management mentions resiliency.
I don't think this is what they meant. Or maybe
No. This is absolutely what they mean. Yeah, not in the same way, but you understand what I mean.
I do. But yeah, so this leads into the second to last episode, where we enter the Badlands.
Mm-hmm. Emphasis on bad.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Actually, Sardo, how well do you know the Cyberpunk universe, out of curiosity?
I mean, not as well as I probably should.
That's okay. You don't need to know everything. But, like, a lot of middle America is, like, desert. Bad things happened, is basically the long and short of it.
So, yeah, emphasis on the bad.
Yeah, emphasis on the bad. Mostly filled with just wandering nomads in cars. Kind of Mad Maxy, kind of not.
So, yeah, Max.
It's a little Mad Maxy. Not quite.
But Mad Max adjacent.
A lot less Leather Daddy.
Aw, bummer.
Not that everyone doesn't dress coolly. It's just they dress more like cowpoke.
Fair enough.
Because, you know, you're in the United States. If you're gonna, like, wander in large packs of cars, you might as well go all howdy on people.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, you might as well just yeehaw it. There is a lot of leather, just not oh god, what's the second villain's name after Toe Cutter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, what's his name? Like Humongous or something like that.
Yeah.
It's something like that. It less that guy, more Toe Cutter.
Okay.
Who technically is also more than Joe, because that's the same actor. Fun fact.
Very cool.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool of them. We're gonna have to have an episode on Mad Max Fury Road one of these days.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, we're out in the Badlands, right outside of Night City. And the crew is going after an Arasaka convoy. And as we learn, all of this was a setup by Faraday to basically sell out the crew to get a cushy job at Arasaka in the grand scheme of things.
What a shocker. Faraday was a bad guy.
I mean, in fairness, we see all this get set up. So it's one of those things where we know what's about to happen as an audience, but not the characters. And the tragedy is that it's like, you're like, no, don't go. You'll
It's
die.
dramatic irony.
Yeah, it's dramatic irony, which is a shame because, well, it doesn't go well. They get cornered by Militech. For those who don't know, and this is for you, Sarah, Militech is sort of the American corporation equivalent to Arasaka.
Hmm.
And in fact, they're basically the new United States, or NUSA, in universe, because California's not part of the U.S. anymore. Neither is Texas.
It's literally the United States of whatever.
Yeah, kind of is. But Militech's like, we want this thing, and David puts it on, and it's bad. This is where things go from bad to worse.
Right.
And well, the cyber skeleton certainly is cool.
It's very cool.
It does a lot of damage. The guy with the flex tape is not gonna fix this. Flex tape is
really
not
not.
fixing this. And it is bad.
This shit's fucked.
A lot. The one good part about all of this is how there's a lot of Rebecca from here on out, and it's great.
Up to a point. We'll get there.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get to the last episode, but just a lot of her yelling at people, which is great.
Oh, yes.
What we learn is what Lucy was actually up to was keeping Arasaka off at David's tail. He's now very large, twink death tail.
He's large and in charge.
My favorite part of some of these episodes is just him, like, being depressed naked in his penthouse room. But he's like, I am a sad man, don't look at me.
He's just sitting there, sulking, absolutely monstrous, absolutely naked, ass out, watching TV.
Oh,
like, he's just like me for real.
I'm glad we knew exactly where we were going with that. Good job, us. Same page. High five.
Is there anywhere else to go?
Not really. It's just they also Lucy and David have a fight because like Lucy's trying to get David out of this because she knows that all his cyberware is starting to take its toll because despite how built different David is, he's not that different.
It's like David is suffering from a case of I'm the main character. Nothing bad can happen to me. I'm so built different, and he literally says it a few times. I'm special. I'm special.
The thing is, he is by universe standards until he runs into the one guy who is even more special than him.
He's just not special enough.
And that's what leads to our last episode, because we might as well talk about it. We're now back in the city, being chased by basically everybody. The crew of David, Falco, and Kiwi betrayed them. Yeah, I forgot to mention that part. That happened.
Yep. Kiwi did that.
Kiwi, the girl who taught Lucy, don't trust anyone, proves her own statement very correct.
Yeah. You know, kind of saw it coming.
You see it coming. I should mention, just because you see it coming does not mean it's a bad thing.
Oh, no. And I'm not saying that as like a criticism of the story. Yeah. It's just like
I'm just making our audience know that we're not saying this as a criticism.
Yeah, you see the writing on the wall, and that's fine.
It's fine, but that's what makes it sadder, is because you know it's coming.
Oh yeah.
You see the storm on the horizon, and there's no way to get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And but anyway, we're in the middle of the city. Kiwi gets betrayed by Faraday because it's like you can't have witnesses, and Kiwi's like, nope. Here's where Faraday is. I know you shouldn't trust me, but fuck this guy. I want him dead.
Yes.
And as we get to Arasaka Tower, David does make it to the top. Not in the way his mom wanted. He's also losing it.
Yeah, David is going in and out of cyberpsychosis. The only thing keeping him out is continual application of drugs to make him not go into cyberpsychosis. He's Yeah, like the only reason he's not losing it yet is because of that, and that's running out very quickly.
Not always that, and the only other thing keeping him remotely sane is that he has one last goal. Like that one goal is keeping him from going full off, like over the edge. But
Yes.
they actually do a really good job because they call back to Maine losing it in the same way. Not with the same imagery, but well, actually same imagery, but also different.
Yes.
Like it's just him crossing the streets of Night City instead of like out in the middle of nowhere on like a tarmac. It's just
Yeah.
him crossing the street. But it's very similar how Maine was starting to lose it. I think that's a really good usage of like similar imagery to be like, oh no.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a very nice application of that.
And that's when we reach the moment where he shows up. And who's that, Sardo?
Mr. Adam Smasher.
Adam Smasher, for those who have no idea who he is, has been Arasaka's big old goon for the past, like, 50 years in universe. Remember how I said there's someone more special than David? Meet the guy who thinks being chromed out like a crazy person is the right thing to do.
And a Mr. Adam Smasher is basically a robot at this point. He is just a big fuck off dude.
With a big
He
old...
looks very cool.
Oh, he's really cool looking in this. And his voice is excellent.
I love his voice. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yeah,
He's
Alec Newman, who plays him, he's a British actor, actually.
Newman. Yeah, he's good.
He let's see, what else is he known for? I'm gonna look up his filmography. He actually is a certain Paul Astartes, actually,
Oh,
for the Sci-Fi Channel version of it. But let's see, is there anything that people? He was in The Snowman. Oh no. British actor.
Mr. Police.
Mr. Police. I gave you all. Mr. Police. He gave you all the clues. Yeah, he was in Frank Herbert's Dune. That's fun.
Oh yeah.
But he finally shows up and he's like, well, Faraday. Everyone's like, well, Faraday, fuck you. You failed. We're gonna kill you now.
And Faraday gets splattered.
Yeah, it's like about time he gets splattered.
Like a sack of jello, and you get to see his multiple eyeballs rolling across the ground. It's very
great.
good.
It's great.
I liked that bit.
The other thing that's great about it is he also fights. He's also actually Adam Smasher in the game.
Oh wow!
It gets more lines here, but what's really great about Adam Smasher and all of this is that like, oh, David's doing the whole like I'm using the Sandevastan, I'm the best, and then Adam Smasher starts using his, and you're just like, this is not
And I want to put this kindly. David's our boy. We've been rooting for David. I like David. Like you want David to succeed. David's fucked. You know, as soon as Mr. Smasher shows up, David's fucked.
And he is, because in the tabletop, because I've actually played it, Adam Smasher is only brought out when you want the characters to die. Like, Adam Smasher is comically hard to kill.
It's a good fight between David and Mr. Smasher. It's well done. You never get the sense, at least I never got the sense, that it's like, oh, David's gonna turn it around. David's gonna pull a win out of this. Because even if he did, I want to let the audience know. I want them to have this picture in their mind, because David's basically a torso with a head at this point.
Yep, they took off all his other limbs, which were admittedly cybernetic.
He's a torso with a head bolted on to some really impressive machinery. And even if David wins, he's not going to have any sort of happy, heroic ending after this. Because it is the thing in this case of that whole thing of like cybernetics consuming the human bit of you.
It like the thing is, outside of just Adam Smasher, no one could have can get this chromed out without things going wrong. And you notice it because like Smasher has everything David has and then some. And he's the
Mm-hmm.
in fairness, I don't think you could go crazy when you're already a psychotic monster man.
And the thing of Adam Smasher is that he, just from like his dialogue and everything, it's clear this man has lost his soul a long time ago, and he's fine with it.
The way I always put it is Adam Smasher was already a horrible monster of a man before the Chrome.
Yes.
Cybernetics did not make this man evil. He was already like this.
Yes, he was a bad person long and before the cybernetics happened.
Cybernetics didn't help, only made him more dangerous.
Yes.
That's the best way to describe Adam Smasher.
And that's in a way why a part of why David loses, because David has a soul, David's a good human being. And so the human part of David, the David part of David, could only be crushed like a bug by this guy.
Yeah, it's like you can't like Adam Smasher is a monster. There's no fear of losing your humanity when you didn't have it to begin with.
He is the beast.
Yeah, and the first act he really does after like, oh wait, he could do this too.
Mm-hmm.
He's
just as good as David and better.
And better is straight up just kill our precious Rebecca.
Fucking Rebecca dies. Ugh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to say it. I knew this was gonna happen.
Again, I kind of saw it coming. I had a feeling. It's like, it's not a matter of who dies. It's a matter of who doesn't die.
Yeah, and the answer is, well, Rebecca doesn't make it. She straight up tries to... Yeah, she gets straight up crushed.
But she does try to shoot him.
Oh, she went out as she lived. Angry, small, and ready to... She loves firing her guns.
And at least our girl Becky got to do that. And that's all I ask, is that she got to die as she lived.
And boy, does she die as she lived.
She dies a warrior's death.
Oh, God, does she ever. She joins Atsumori of, yeah, we kind of saw this coming, but damn it, did you win out how you wanted to.
And that's the real victory there. But it's like, yeah, I saw Mr. Smasher coming down on her, and it's like, she's not gonna make it out alive. And yeah, she's shooting at him, but that's not gonna do shit.
Fun fact, because I actually... do you want to know some things from the game that are some of the fun Easter eggs? Go ahead. Her shotgun's still there. It's in the
wow.
bush. Yeah, you can use guts. That's the name of her shotgun.
Aww.
As someone pointed out, you can wear Johnny's clothes, David's jacket while wielding Rebecca's shotgun, and also side-arming a different character's weapon killed by and end up dying because of guys like Smasher. His sins, the ghosts of the past refuse to let go. It's great. But yeah, it's like the moment Adam Smasher shows up, this is how Adam Smasher's supposed to be, where you're like, oh God, no. Like everyone's like, oh, you're like even David Thompson's like, oh, you're some sort of legend, huh, Choom? And it's just like, yes, I am. Prepare to die.
You are the legend.
Yeah.
And I think that's as it should be.
Yeah, no,
because
it's really well done. Go on, explain to the
audience. Guys, and I mean, you understand this particular cyberpunk, that the lore and the world better than I do. But I feel like just in terms of general character writing, there are reasons people like Adam Smasher get the reputation and get the oomph that they get. And it's for things like this. Because it's not just that they kill a bunch of dudes with no name. It's because they murder heroes. And he did. He
Yeah,
murdered heroes. And that's as it should be. And if David had somehow come through and defeated Atom Smasher, even if only temporarily, it wouldn't have had the same impact and it wouldn't have felt right.
yeah.
And
It's the best way to put it is he's the hero killer.
he's the hero killer. And you need hero killers because otherwise the hero's triumph over those guys isn't going to feel quite so huge. Maybe that's a simplistic way of putting it, but that's how I see it.
Oh, I should mention because you would just think this is really funny. This is technically the first time Atom Smasher's been officially confirmed in Night City in about 53 years. I have
Oh,
a question. Do you know what happened to Johnny Silverhand? Because you know who that is. He's kind of
yes, I do. It's
uh,
mean Keanu.
I mean Keanu, as he's known to most people, but in universe, he set off a nuclear bomb in the middle of Night City in Arasaka Tower. Because of course he did.
Hmm.
This leads
Oh,
to
yeah.
shit getting worse, kinda, and then somewhat better, then worse again. Because oops. But he was
Yeah.
famously the last time he was seen was dueling Morgan Blackhand as a nuclear device went off.
Uh-huh.
And the joke is there's rumors that he's still alive, but Edgerunners is the first confirmed appearance he's back in the timeline. So yeah, when they mean he's a boogeyman, they mean it. The guys are, and it should be noted that Morgan Blackhand is Mike Pondsmith's character.
Okay.
For those who don't know what that means, you will notice at the start of every episode in the opening, based after the universe created by Mike Pondsmith.
Yes.
So, you know, he's that guy.
Yes.
But yeah, as we're going through it, David stuffs Lucy in Falco's car. By the way, is the guy with the mustache, played by
He's
Matt
the
Mercer.
Yeehaw man.
He's Yeehaw Man. He's the driver.
Yes.
He's neat. He
He
doesn't. He
he
doesn't. He drives car.
he lives. He lives. He gets his arm shot off, I think.
No,
But
his
he
arm doesn't get
lives.
shot off. His arm gets punched off by Atom Smasher.
Oh fuck. But
He
he
lives.
lives.
He is able to just run with Lucy, and they're the only two who gets to live out of the original crew in total.
Hmm.
And it's sad.
And Lucy finally gets to go to the moon, as was her dream, but she doesn't get to go with David.
And it makes her the sad.
And yeah, it's very tragic. It's that Pyrrhic victory of she got to live out her dream, but not really because she didn't get to go with the person she really cared about and loved.
It also should be noted that this is also the source of the best Neil drop in the entire show.
Yes.
Oh god, they play the well, it's not really a love song, it's more of a breakup song.
Yeah.
I really want to stay at your house is a desperate plea to try to make this work. But it drops, and god is it great. It plays basically the entire final moments of this show before really up until the ending. God, and is it great? You're just like, man, what a needle drop.
It's very good.
You're like, I really want to stay at your house, and sadly,
But David can't stay at anybody's house because he's dead.
oh, he dies. Smasher kills him. Like, he even offers to turn him into like an AI construct, and he's like, "Fuck you." And he's like, "All right, blam." Just really, I think what it this is a really cyberpunk story in the sense that it is the little guy trying to fight up against the big guns of the corporate world, and it just doesn't work. Because you
It's
can't
just
burn this city down. The city always wins.
they they tried so hard and got so far.
But in the end, he fucking dies. It sucks.
It's sad.
It sucks. Especially because they killed our girl Rebecca.
Hmm. We miss you, Rebecca. You
We
you
did.
were
You were our
the,
favorite.
the best Becky there ever was.
Damn, the Becky with the long hair, mostly because she is absolutely willing to kill everything.
I love that murderous little gremlin.
And now you see why she's so popular.
I understand. I understood from the minute I saw her. I'll be real. From the minute I heard her voice, it's like, yeah,
Her voice in English, by the way, because the English dub is fantastic.
I love her English voice because we listened to this in English.
I've listened to
And
this in Japanese. It's good in Japanese, but in English, it's much more. They use the actual, like, in-universe lingo, which is
yeah.
fun. It's like, people say choom and preem and nova because this was made in the 80s. This is a
And
property made in 1982.
and we've talked about her voice in previous episodes, but I love her husky, raspy, like she sounds like she eats cigarettes and drinks Bud Light for breakfast. And I love her.
And cleans it all out with sandpaper.
Yes.
And it's such a distinctive voice, and it sounds. It's a sound that's super specific.
And I say this with utmost affection as somebody who is white trash themselves. She sounds white trash. And I love that about her.
She just has this very specific sounding voice. That's like no one else sounds like that. You couldn't find someone who sounds like that.
She is beautifully unique. And I
And
adore her.
played by Alex Cazares. I think she's actually Latina, actually, which is the funny part.
Oh, very cool.
I don't know. She's our age, actually.
Huh.
Yeah. Just looked it up.
Well, she does a magnificent job.
Oh, no, she's great in this. It's just, you hear that voice, and you're just like, that is a unique voice. No one else sounds like that.
Oh my God, Becky. I
Oh,
love
God.
her.
I think she ended up being your favorite.
She was my favorite. Yeah.
And
I love Rebecca.
It's not surprising because Lucy's great. We love David, but Rebecca's sort of this so very specific feeling character. Like, for as great as everyone else is, and, like, the main cast is all good. I want to make that abundantly clear.
Yeah, I liked everybody.
There's no bad character. It's more of like, for as much as we liked Maine and Dorio and Lucy, David, yeah, even Falco. Actually, Rebecca and Falco's interactions are always great.
Oh yes, I really enjoyed
deserve
Falco
that
too.
cowboy mustache.
I love Falco.
It's such a line. Falco's
But
good.
but Rebecca has my heart.
Not hard not to see why. She's just such a. She's such a very who. Do you know the story of how Rebecca got into this show? Because she wasn't in the original script. So
I don't think I do. Explain.
okay, so one of the things that was revealed by in interviews by oh god, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to not butcher some names here. Because these are I am not good with Polish. It's
What?
Botos Tibor, I think. I do not know how to. I'm so sorry. like Polish is the one European language I have no idea how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Fair enough.
But I think I can't remember if it was with him or Rafael Jockey or one of the other main writers. Like one of them was on an interview a few years ago, like early this year or like late last year, talking about the production and how like they saw Rebecca there and they're like, "Who is this? She wasn't in the script." And everyone, uh, and they're like, "Who's this tiny little oddball?" And the answer is, "Oh, we thought she was interesting."
Fair enough. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Uh,
And they were so right to do it because she's a hit. She's great. She deserves all the popularity she has.
no, it's funny because they're like, "You should cut her. She doesn't really fit in with Night City because she's like this." They use a word we don't like, and it's the term loli. And I would not call Rebecca that, by the way.
She is clearly a grown ass woman. I
She's just
I
very
hate it when
tiny.
people do that. It's like short adult women exist. That's
Yes,
annoying.
and I wouldn't really say she's very childlike. She has big eyes, but I think that's more like her own aesthetic type of going for
She no, that's oh god, I
I
hate
don't
it when people
I
do
don't like it,
that.
but like Studio Trigger's like no, she stays, and CD Projekt Red was like okay fine.
Yeah.
Mind you, their issue was that she was an add-on. That was Trigger's idea
Right.
because they had written the whole thing out, and they're like, "Are you
Yeah.
sure?" And then like, and even CD Projekt's like, no, she's perfect. Let the tiny violent gremlin stay. It's like bringing
Like
in a chihuahua. A
the
very
attitude fits with the tone.
no, it
I feel like
does. You're so right.
and I will there's so much I want to say about that particular statement about her appearance, but I'm going to refrain from it because that stuff pisses me off so bad. I hate that shit so much.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think I'm glad they kept her on.
yeah. It's like you know what you were. I understand why you thought this way because like she was added in and we're like, and if we wrote something, they're like, and we were like, who the fuck is that?
Mhm.
And we would have, and they would have been like, and we would have been like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But in the
Just
end,
like, dude, trust me.
this was the ultimate dude trust me moment, and it was absolutely accurate.
Yeah.
It's just Imiyashi's just like, trust me, it's gonna be great. I mean, it makes sense. One of the most popular characters in Kill la Kill, another show by Imiyashi, was the tiny gremlin child.
Yeah, it's true.
Nanon is great, mostly because she's a massive bitch.
And sometimes that's what your story needs, is just to add a gremlin.
Yeah, just a tiny mad gremlin who wants to cause mayhem and loves the violence.
And that can really do a lot for the story. But yeah, that was Cyberpunk.
Yeah. It was real good. And once again, what we like about it was what we said before. It's colorful, it's over the top, but not too over the top to the point where it's bad.
I enjoyed the story. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's some stuff there to be said about I mean, I think with a lot of stuff, especially the genre itself, it's a lot of social commentary and there's plenty there.
Yeah, like how David mother this whole inciting incident is all because David's mother doesn't have the right health insurance,
Hmm.
which is super
And
real.
it's the thing of how things like poverty and lack of things like healthcare and other basic necessities can drive people into what broader society sees as criminal behavior. And we don't do anything to adjust to assess the things that cause that criminality. We just attack the criminality head on, and we cause more issues for ourselves
Yeah,
in doing so.
yeah, like a violent response. This like or how like David going cyber psycho is not because he's a bad person,
Hmm.
but because like the strain of his life and all these other things add up, combined with strains on his physical form, and he can't take it anymore.
And there's something to be said how that is. I mean, the general insight of that is how a lot of health issues in life are compounded by stress, and
Mm-hmm.
the general existing of our human nature in this world adds stress. And what makes our health worse? Stress. And we don't have health care, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's all very much like the human condition, and it's interesting, and I liked it. I thought it was good. I liked
Yeah.
the violence also.
Oh yeah, this show has wonderful violence, and thank God for Rebecca, who loves causing said violence and laughs while she does it.
I love her. I love the way people in this are just water balloons full of blood and organs.
I have a good question for you, actually.
Huh.
Um, Outside of Rebecca, who was your other favorite character after 10 episodes? Now that we finished it.
Golly, that's a good question. I'll be real, I thought David was very interesting as far as main characters go.
Yeah,
I did like his kind of look into the idea of like the protagonist and, well, I'm gonna be fine because I'm special and because I'm built different. And how it's a nice kind of deconstruction of, you're not built different, you're not special, you are just like anybody else. But it's not like in a way that like David's like a megalomaniac or like narcissistic or anything. He thinks he's strong enough to push through this because there's such an absurd reliance on resiliency, and resiliency is bullshit.
yeah. It's also like what I like about David is he is incredibly resistant to
He
the
is.
pitfalls of cyberware and how it causes people to start losing themselves as you know as they all ship Theseus themselves into something new.
Yes.
But as we learn, even he has a limit, and part of the reason why they get in this mess is because he is unwilling to admit his limit. That there is a point
That's exactly it.
there's this whole need to be tough because he's trying to fulfill the dreams of of his mother and his the
And everybody he loves.
his surrogate dad.
Yeah.
It
And
Maine's his
Lucy,
dad in the grand scheme of things.
yeah.
His
And
dad.
a-
You're my
Boogie
dad.
Woogie Woogie.
But depressed version of that. So minor key.
Yes.
And I think
But I
oh,
go ahead.
I should say one more thing about David. Do you know who he's played by? Because we've heard his voice recently.
Who?
He's played by Zach Aguilar, but you would
Mm.
recognize him as a short man with coiffed hair with a sign. He's Kume.
Oh. Oh, really?
Yes, it's the same guy.
What?
Yeah, I know, right?
Are you shitting me?
From Yakuza
And
7 himself, Kume.
and I think that speaks to Mr. Aguilar's range, because he can voice somebody so lovable like David, and then somebody so utterly hateable like
Yes.
Kume.
Just a despicable boy. From most despicable boy to goodest boy.
The goodest, kindest boy who David would. I mean, anybody could beat Kume's ass, but
Yeah. David would turn him into paste. and he should.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, no, I think so. Final thoughts, I think, before we say anything else, is if you have a Netflix account, I think you should watch this.
Yeah, give it a go.
It's fun. You don't need to know a lot about the setting because that doesn't matter. What matters
It
is
kind
oh, go for it.
it explains a lot.
It explains itself well enough to for you to understand what's happening. You don't need like a full backstory of the world. You don't need all this lore. You're fine.
Yeah, you kind of get it going in.
You understand what's happening, and that's fine. It's fine. You're not going to be fine by the end of it because you're going to be sad.
No, you'll be very sad.
It won't be Heike Story like, oh, I don't know what to do with my life now.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd still be sad. If Heike Story is a 12, this is like a 7.
Yeah, I'd say so.
A 7 on the sadness scale. In terms of like actual whole production, I'd give this like a 9. Maybe an 8. Like 9 or an 8, depending how I'm feeling that day. The only downside is that it's 10 episodes, so it's done. It goes by fast.
Yeah. But I'm really glad we got to watch this. Yeah. This was very nice.
Sardo, I will promise you the next thing I make us watch will not be this depressing.
I don't believe you, but okay.
I mean, we could watch Gunbuster. I have no idea what happens at Gunbuster.
It's probably going to be really depressing, too.
I mean, it is by Gainax back when Gainax was Gainax, but but this is pre-Evangelion Gainax.
Now, Stross, let me put it this way. I trust you not to have us watch something really sad, the way I trust me not to have us watch something really shitty.
What are you talking about? Speed Racer is great. We had two whole episodes about how much I love Speed Racer.
That's fair.
Speed Racer is joy.
But hence my point. I'm not saying that we won't watch something you recommend that won't be really sad. I'm just saying it's not likely.
I mean, we could watch...
And anything that's going to be happy will be a fluke.
I mean, I could force us to watch School Rumble.
True.
I have the box set. It comes in a little steel box that's shaped like a locker.
We could watch that.
I'd be down. I love School Rumble. I haven't seen it in years. It's a curiosity of how well that show has aged. Some of it's going to age very well. Some of it not so much.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll have to put that on the table at some point. I'd be down for that.
But I do have one last thing. There was an interesting tweet about Edgerunners. Well, it wasn't a tweet. It was by a very specific person on the Cyberpunk 2077 subreddit.
Mm-hmm.
With the title "They Fucking Nailed It" by the real Mike Pondsmith. The real Mike Pondsmith approved.
Whoa!
The original creator went, "This is good."
And if you're looking for a better praise of the work, you're probably not gonna find it. Also, Mr. Mike Pondsmith looks like he would fit into the Cyberpunk universe very well.
Oh yeah, no, that's the best part of looking up pictures of Mike Pondsmith is that, yeah, actually he looks exactly how you want him to look.
He's an extremely cool looking guy.
Also, one of the rare black people in tabletop gaming, which we need to praise that shit for a minute because you and I
seriously
both can point out how the tabletop scene is extremely white.
Oh, the tabletop scene is blindingly white, blindingly bad. About a lot of issues of race.
The companies making the games are trying to be better, and we appreciate
but it's
the effort.
still there's still a lot to be done there. But hats off to Mike Pondsmith for being there, making something so huge,
There's
and just
so many pictures of him with sick glasses and a leather jacket. I'm like, he is
I
real.
I want his sunglasses collection
Yeah,
because
I'll say.
he's just a very cool looking guy.
Yeah, I'd love to hang out with him.
He looks like he'd be a cool guy to hang out with. I would love to have a beer with Mike Pondsmith.
Me too. But
But
yeah, I will say before we go away. Also, I really want to say to your house, excellent needle drop track. That's
yes.
great song in the get when you're playing 2077. Much better now. Now that I feel depressed.
Very much so.
I'm gonna drive. I mean, I'm gonna drive around town on a high-speed motorcycle, being sad. And also, the ending's really good.
It is very good.
The end. Also, the ending credits animation is oh, Lucy's sad now.
Oh, Lucy.
Poor Lucy, you lose everything.
And also kudos for the Franz Ferdinand in the soundtrack. I love me some Franz Ferdinand.
What I like about it, because somebody pointed out, they never actually say you burn the city down. They never actually get to the chorus. And it makes you realize, oh, you can't burn this city down.
Nope. Nope.
You
Which
don't-
is more depressing.
You don't get to win in this. But I think that's just kind of what makes ultimately an interesting story.
Definitely so.
Because it's not about winning or losing. It's about just what happens.
And it's about the system.
And it's bad.
Fuck the system. The system is horrible.
Yeah. And that's Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It was good. We recommend it.
I really enjoyed that. That was terrific.
I'm trying to decide if we recommend this more or less than. I know for a fact that of all the things we've watched for this program, like Heike Story's #1.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm kind of useless when it comes to these sort of recommendations because my thing is, if you feel like you'd like something like this, then you should watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if we recommend this harder than Speed Racer, and the answer is maybe.
I mean, again, it would you like Speed Racer? What kind of time are you looking to have?
Yeah, Speed Racer's when you want to have a laugh and just watch something silly and goofy. You watch this because it's a lot.
It's well done. It's fairly thoughtful. It's interesting. This is the sort of thing you watch it if you're willing to sit with it for a bit afterwards.
Yeah, like we will, by probably watching animal videos. Because that's what we do. We watch birds be goofy.
But overall, I loved it, and I'm really glad we got to experience this
Yeah,
and talk about it.
yeah. Next time around, I don't know what we're gonna watch next for the show, but it might be Gunbuster. I have it. It's right over there.
Maybe
It's sitting on my shelf.
I'll give anything a try.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We could watch Tokyo Godfathers for December.
Good.
I have
Oh,
it.
that is one of my favorite like holiday time movies.
Well, okay, Sardo, I'm gonna promise this on the show, just so it happens. We will watch Tokyo Godfathers
Oh,
for
good.
the show.
Yes.
Because I have it. And when it's December time, we'll do it for a December episode.
Oh, wonderful. I'm very happy.
Because I like it's not the season for it yet. It's spoopy month, so we're gonna have to do something.
Once the snow starts to fall, then it is Tokyo Godfathers season.
Or if it's December. Whichever one happens first.
Either way, with global warming, who knows?
Yeah, it didn't really snow a lot this past year. It didn't like snow until like mid-January.
Yeah,
But who knows? It might rain more this year. We'll see.
maybe. But yeah,
Yeah, so that was Edgerunners. We thought it was good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
Stross.
I mean, okay, so is this we were admitted that we were doubling up recording, so this hell you watching is going to be very, very short. Hi, Sardo, you watched anything in the past 24 hours?
I started playing Baldur's Gate.
How's it been so far?
I've been having a great time.
Oh, that's
I got
great.
absolutely slaughtered by intellect devourers.
Oh, poor Sardo.
I'm having such a good time. I love this game. The mind flayers can get it. They had no reason to make the mind flayers that hot, but they did, and I'm so glad they did.
Oh, you can fuck one in this game, so congratulations.
I know you can. I'm so excited. I thank you, Baldur's Gate 3 team, for letting people fuck the mind flayers. You aren't cowards, and I appreciate that.
Now, only if they would put an orc in the party.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's been my one problem with the game is lineup diversity, and when the tiefling and the Githyanki are the only spiciness in this party.
Yeah, I want an orc. Not a half orc, I want an orc.
Well, okay, let's... Okay, so actually, here's a good way for me to put it. Because you've seen me play Wrath of the Righteous.
Yes.
Which you enjoyed.
Yes.
And, so here's the lineup of every possible character you can get in Baldur's Gate 3. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Outside of the player career character of Tav, we're not going to count them. That could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
So Tav doesn't exist. You have a half-elf in Shadowheart. Yes, I know he's a vampire, but he's an elf in...
He's an elf. It just doesn't fucking matter that he's a vampire. He's not any kind of monstrous vampire, so it doesn't matter.
No, he has one kind of monstrous vampire. The one who slays.
That doesn't count.
I had to do it. I'm like, Neil Newbon, you're a treasure as Asterion. Gale, human. Will, human. Does get fiendified, which we like. Love the horns.
Yes, but
doesn't
count. He starts as a human. It doesn't count.
I agree. It doesn't count, though. I do like the horns.
The horns are very nice.
Lae'zel, biggest bitch here. Lover. Githyanki, actually different.
And also, if you do any of those mods to, like, make her face look quote-unquote prettier, I actually hate you.
Honestly, for anyone. Except for the one face mod that makes Shadowheart look, like, have the same relative face look of her actual actress. That's fine.
That's different. That's fine.
No, it's so funny because the voice director for Baldur's Gate 3 actually is dating her.
Well, hey!
So he's like, I romance Shadowheart. For real. She's a great Twitter follow. You would love her.
Aww.
Let's see. Karlach, Tiefling, finally. More spiciness. Halsin.
It's good, but...
Big, buff druid man. Love it.
But,
elf.
But he's a guy. He's just a guy.
He's an elf. Love that he's big and buff, but elf. Jaheira, love that she's an older lady.
Very
half
good.
Elf. Still a half elf. Minthara, if you want to go evil. Drow, which is basically elf, but different.
Purple.
Yeah, but purple. It's the phrase, what if it were purple?
Why he orple?
I've not really talked to her much, but then there's Minx, dumbest boy, stupidest boy, human.
And Boo.
And of course he comes with Boo, who is a hamster. Precious Boo.
Yes, but not a whole lot of like non-human flavored
The,
romance options.
it's not even just like a romance option thing. It's just like your options are all basically some flavor of elf or human. Even tieflings are half human.
And
Like,
it's like I don't count tieflings as like the monster fucker thing because tieflings are just hot people with horns.
and a tail.
And those are all hot things.
And in fairness, Karlach is very hot in every sense of the word hot.
She's hot in all senses, but she doesn't count.
Hot though. Love her.
She's very hot. I love Karlach, but in this case, she doesn't count under the circumstances.
Yeah. Whereas when we played Wrath of the Righteous, our first party member was, yes, a human, but she was black, so that was cool. Mike Will, points for making a black person.
We like a little more like variety in people just in general, especially in fantasy, which is kind of devoid of that.
It's oh, did you ever hear there's a bit about the Bay Area from Robin Williams. It's about the rainbow tunnel. You go through it, zaps all the color out. It's like that when you go into fantasy sometimes. But it's like
It's true.
also in turn you get like, yeah, Camellia, she's a half elf. But then you also get Lan. Lan's half lizard, half goat man.
Which is cool.
And then there's Wendewog, who's a blue spider lady. They're mongrels. They're weird.
I think it's really sad you don't get to fuck the spider people.
Sardo,
Wow.
you can fuck Wendewog.
Well,
I just been
but-
bad. I'm bad at keeping her alive.
okay, but like in Baldur's Gate 3, it's sad you can't fuck the spider people. I want to fuck the spider people, and I think
Spider
it's
people?
a crime that I'm not allowed.
I don't think there are spider people in that game.
Yes, there is. There's a Spider-Man. There's a guy with the spider body. I don't
Oh yeah,
remember his
no,
name.
you mean the Trider, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, he didn't last very long when I was playing.
But I think it's a shame you can't romance him.
Well,
Because would.
I know one friend of mine who said it's good that he's no longer with us. He is deathly afraid of spiders.
Which is fair.
Yeah. He, on the other hand, understandably doesn't like spiders. But yeah, but also in Wrath of the Righteous, you know, you get a human cleric, Sociel, goodest boy.
Mhm.
Black too, which is nice. Gay, also fun. And then you could also get his brother, but that's not until like near the end of the game. But you also get a dwarf named Greybore. You get a tiefling. You loved that tiefling, didn't you?
I did enjoy that
Wolf-
tiefling. That was a
Wolfjiff,
good tiefling.
He had his voice. When he's like he has that smile. You could tell the smile he has when he's talking to you. It's like, hey, chief. Your beloved Regil, angriest gnome alive. No. Shut up, you.
I just love an awful gnome.
He's an awful little gnome man, and he's mean.
Evil gnome.
And then there's your beloved Dayran, who's technically not an elf, but okay. So Azamors are basically elves, but not really.
Yeah.
But his hair is like metallic looking, which is fun.
It is.
And then of course there's Ulbrich, who is like Halsin, but he's human. Ulbrich's a new guy, actually. He's played by Mike Pollock, which is the funniest part. So every time he spoke, I was like, Eggman.
Eggman. I miss my wife, Tails.
I miss my wife, Tails. I'm going back to Sikoris. I'm going to find my wife. And then there's beloved Arushale, who...
You love Arushale. Your wife.
My wife.
Who you
beloved...
miss, Tails.
Yeah, she's the wife I'm missing, Tails. Her and her beloved a succubus, an actual literal demon,
A for real succubus.
who's trying to be good. She's great. Point is, Baldur's Gate 3 is great, and when you're done, go play Wrath of the Righteous, because it's probably now very much on sale, and got recent DLC update, actually.
If you like Baldur's Gate, you'll probably like Wrath of the Righteous.
It's more complicated. It's a lot less simple, but once you get it, you're like, oh, look at all the stuff I can do. You can be a lich.
You can.
And have an undead army. That's neat. Sardo loves being a lich.
I love being a lich. It's my favorite activity.
Like licking graham crackers on Mondays.
Yes.
But folks, I think that's good for an episode. Thank you all for coming. Sardo can be found on the internet as Autopsy Garlands on Twitter. Marky Belial for the art account.
Also true.
Your commissions are mostly open.
Yes, they are open. I'm working on one right now.
Yeah,
but...
I would know because it was me. That's why I said mostly open. It's like, it is open, except for that one slot that's currently busy at the moment.
Yeah, that one is occupied, but the rest of them are free, yeah. So you should still commission me.
Still commission Sardo, but just know until one of them is done, not all of them are open. Most of them are. And you also are streaming on Mondays, today, as always, because this goes up on a Monday.
That is correct.
Like Solomon Grundy, this is born on a Monday. At 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, or 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 5:30 p.m. If you're on the West Coast.
Yes.
Central, you have to do the math yourself.
Figure it out. You'll be fine. I always post when I'm going live.
Yeah. So if you follow Sardo on Twitter, you'll know. I'll be there unless I don't know, shareware happens or something like that.
Yeah, Stross will tell me if not, but otherwise you'll be there.
And I am Almighty Stross. You're also Uncle Death on Twitch. I should state that. And
Blue Sky.
Yeah, and Blue Sky. We're on Blue Sky now. And also you're Mr. Blue Sky. And also in turn, you can find me at Almighty Stross across all platforms: Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky. I stream Monday, Tuesday, not Monday. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's been great so far.
Yes. It's been a lot of fun.
We recently, as of recording, just got done with there's a war we have to stop.
Yeah.
We gotta fight Mabuchi.
There's stuff going on. We'll fight in Mabuchi.
Yeah, it's exciting. So yeah, as always, we have a Patreon. It will be updated with, of course, our most recent edition will be our Like a Dragon watch through.
We watched it. It was interesting. There was stuff that happened.
Our last episode is on it. You've probably already seen it if you're a consistent listener, and if not, go watch that. We talk about vibes.
We had a good time.
We had a good time. We didn't have a bad day, so we didn't have to turn it around.
Yes.
But in the meantime, folks, thank you all for coming. This is the Skeleton Crew podcast with your host, Sardo. Mm-hmm. And Stross, that's me. And we're going to go, watch some animal videos, probably.
I think so.
I believe there's a new Girl with the Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So, goodbye, everyone.
Good night, everybody.